listening to the IELTS podcast. Learn from tutors and ex-examiners who are masters of IELTS preparation. Your host, Ben Worthington.
IELTS vocabulary, further education, or studying abroad. Hello there, my name is Ben Worthington, and in this tutorial we're not only going to be looking at some incredibly useful vocabulary for this topic, where you will be hearing it in context. I'm going to share a grammar point that you can use in your speaking and writing exam. It's very simple, very straightforward, and we're also going to look at some collocations. We're going to look at a model essay, and then I will quickly finish with some speaking part 3 questions and model answers. So let's jump straight into it. So the grammar point covered is starting sentences with gerunds. Now the gerund is the ing form of the verb, and this is the subject or subject complement of a sentence. So a gerund, a sentence starting with a gerund, can sound a little bit more dynamic, and it just helps you vary your structure or your writing style. I'll give a brief example. Studying abroad helps students gain a global perspective, and this uses studying abroad as the subject. So as you know, very straightforward. You've probably heard it, or you may have even used it before. If you have, that's fantastic. If you haven't, experiment with it. It is quite straightforward. Now, let's just have a very brief look at the pros and cons of studying abroad. So the pros: cultural perspectives, it increases your employment opportunities, possibly enhances your language skills. You can develop independence and self-reliance. You can expand your professional network. It could improve your academic performance. It encourages personal growth. It offers a lifelong learning experience. Plenty of pros there, and lots of collocations as well. So the cons, obviously the cost, as I said in previous tutorials, using the cost as a potential downside to an argument is a smart idea. Why? Well, costs nowadays are associated with everything, and if you learn some specific phrases related to costs, you could use it in an essay about building a nuclear power station. You could use it in an essay about government funds. You could use it in an essay about training, company training, about nursery care, childcare. We can just talk about the cost side of the argument, and I do include this in one of our online courses with lots of useful copy-paste sentences that are very versatile, very useful. So back to today's tutorial. We could talk about the costs of studying abroad, the cultural shock, the difficulty in accessing local support services, the risk of feeling isolated or marginalized. We could talk about the language barriers, and of course the potential of leading to homesickness. Straightforward. Okay, so these arguments, quite quick fire. Let's have a look at vocabulary collocations related to this topic. Cross-cultural competences. That's a beautiful one. Cross-cultural competencies. Overseas study grants. Foreign language acquisition. Visa application process. Cultural immersion experiences. And quite fancy ones there. How would we use these in sentences? Well, we could say acquiring foreign language skills greatly enhances one's resume. Notice there that we didn't say is very good for one's resume. Using a phrase such as very good is criminal. I have some private students now, and I am forever telling them we need to move away from good and bad, from big and small, from very. We use richer vocabulary such as greatly enhances. Yep. Next point, understanding different educational systems is crucial for academic success abroad. Crucial is a very useful word as well. I just contradicted myself because I said never use very, good and bad, and then I go and use it. Anyway, this is more for spoken English. I'm using it in a more relaxed fashion, but when it's your exam, try to just upgrade your vocabulary. So crucial, it's a great synonym for important, for significant. It's got a slightly different meaning, so you may want to research that before using it, but by all means, before your exam, just practice with it, get some feedback on it. Next one, experiencing cultural immersion helps broaden one's perspectives. This is another one that I'm quite fond of. Broaden one's perspectives. How good is that? That just means like widen the horizon. It's the opposite of like being narrow-minded. Next one, participating in academic enrichment programs. Wow, provides deeper knowledge in specialized fields. Notice as well, all of these sentences are starting with the grammar point that I mentioned before, of starting with the verb in a gerund form to make it the subject of the sentence. And as you can hear, it's probably quite straightforward. Engaging with global education perspectives fosters a more inclusive worldview. Navigating visa application processes is a vital step for studying abroad. There we go. Now let's just quickly look at a body paragraph, a sentence in a typical study abroad essay. So the advantages of studying abroad are manifold. That's another fantastic little phrase we could use. I've taught in the past to say numerous, plentiful, considerable, but manifold is a less frequent word that you're going to find, less common word, and it just sets the tone. So the advantages of studying abroad are manifold. Obviously it means numerous advantages. Engaging with global education perspectives not only broadens one's academic horizons, but also enhances personal development. Now, I would recommend the student here put an example in. For example, in Asia, it's extremely common for certain groups of students to study abroad in countries such as the UK and Australia. This not only helps in developing intercultural communication skills, it is also invaluable in the increasingly interconnected global job market. And then, as I've said numerous times before, we could just close out this paragraph by saying, therefore, it is abundantly clear there are considerable advantages when considering studying abroad. Okay, straightforward. Speaking part 3, questions and model answers. Why do you think studying abroad is important? Studying abroad is crucial. Again, that lovely little word there. Studying abroad is crucial because it offers students a chance to engage with different cultures, which can significantly broaden their horizons and enhance their education. This experience, which develops critical thinking and adaptability, is invaluable in today's global economy. Now, just as a side note, if you feel that that your answer isn't sufficient, that your answer is too short, you can always circle back to the question and just round it off, finish it off with, and that's why I believe studying abroad is important. Next question. Should universities offer more support to international students? Absolutely. Universities should provide extensive support to international students. This help, which can make or break a student's experience abroad, could include orientation programs, language assistance, and help with accommodation. Effective support ensures students can focus on their studies and personal growth. Now, I like this answer because, we start off, it's a should question, so we can answer with absolutely, and we could even answer absolutely not. Yeah, we've just built it out. So first of all, we answered crystal clear. Absolutely, universities should provide extensive support to international students. In the question we have, should universities offer more support to international students? The student I'm working with at the moment, we are working on reflecting the question word for word and using that in our answer. Stage 2 will be aiming for an answer like I've just given you, where we are switching out some of the basic words in the question with higher level synonyms, or even just different synonyms so we don't sound so robotic. But by reflecting, we're keeping our answer on topic. So, as I said, absolutely, universities should provide extensive support. In the question, we had more support. In our answer, extensive support to international students. Now, the other part of this answer that I liked was, this help, which can make or break a student's experience, includes orientation programs, so on and so forth. But that lovely phrase, which can make or break a student's experience abroad, is fantastic. It shows we've got a high command of the language. It's quite a common phrase. It's an idiomatic expression, make or break a student's experience abroad. It's fantastic. And again, here, we could even mention the cost. Should universities offer more support to international students? Absolutely, universities should provide extensive support to international students. I believe this should mainly be financial help due to the large costs involved, and so on and so forth, and extend our argument, taking it in a cost direction, because we've mastered cost of financial vocabulary, because it's got multiple uses in our task 2 essay, in our speaking answer. We can use it in a lot of different topics. As I was saying before, climate change, childcare, crime. It's quite endless, it's quite versatile. What are the personal benefits of studying abroad? I guess the personal benefits of studying abroad include developing independence and gaining an understanding of different cultures. These experiences, which foster maturity and self-reliance, are transformative for many students, shaping their personal and professional lives. Again, we've got a lovely little phrase there. These experiences, which foster maturity and self-reliance. How good is that? Which foster maturity. It's quite a useful phrase, especially when we're talking about skills and development. What are the benefits of working abroad, working remotely? Well, you gain skills which foster independence and self-management, and possibly even self-reliance. That reminds me of a third technique as well that I've taught before, especially for higher level students. We reflect the answer, as I've said, we add some synonyms, and then we maybe add a list. These qualities, for example, might include self-reliance, independence, and even an increase in courage. So what we do is, with this third skill I'm mentioning now, is we add a list to extend our answer, and we say 1, 2, and even 3, for example. And it just adds that little bit more richness in our answer. Final question. How do people in your country feel about higher education and studying abroad? In my country, there's a strong emphasis on the value of higher education and studying abroad. Again, this should, in my opinion, should have been the synonyms should have been included in this answer, because we've taken it copy-paste. And in all honesty, this is what I'm working with. This is what I'm working on with my private students. Copy-paste from the question we hear. But this is just part 1, stage 1. Stage 2, once we've mastered the art of reflection, we add those synonyms so we sound more natural. So we give richer answers. So it's less robotic, but we still keep the basis. We still keep the foundation of reflection, which is recognizing the tense, paying attention to the prepositions, the articles, the vocabulary in there, and then replying with that awareness in mind. And this not only gets us off to a fast start, but starting faster helps your confidence. When your confidence is increased, you're speaking at a higher level. In my country, there is a strong emphasis on the value of further education and studying internationally. Just minor modifications there, minor modifications to the two phrases. Many see it as a stepping stone. Or even better, there's a manifold of people that see it as a stepping stone. Great little phrase there as well. To superior career opportunities in personal development. In the text in front of me, it says better career opportunities, but better in my world, in my mind, is it's the superlative of good, best, better. So let's upgrade it. Superior, vastly superior if we want to take it to the next level. The general consensus, that's a beautiful phrase as well. The general consensus is that acquiring international experience is highly beneficial. There we go. Now, at the moment, we are fully booked for private students. There will be no more opportunities. We've fully booked, but there might be an opportunity coming next month. So keep an eye on your inbox. The opportunity might come along because my students will have passed. Ideally, they've got grade 7 or above. We were mainly working on the speaking. And it's difficult to say that they will definitely get the 7 because I couldn't control when she was going to take her exam. She decided she's going to take it in 2 weeks after starting a lesson with me. So I guess we will find out. However, if you are still looking for some help with your English, with your IELTS preparation, there's 2 resources I can highly recommend. Number 1 is our AI essay checker. It's completely free. If you are serious about getting this band 7, 8 or 9, then you will probably need to upgrade your essay checking package. I mean, you can submit as many essays as you want all day, every day on the free plan, but if you're serious about a 7, you probably want to upgrade. You'll get better, more quality feedback. It's measuring more data points. It takes a bit longer to get your correction. Instead of 20 seconds, it might take 30, 35 seconds because it's checking more thoroughly, checking more data points and fetching more accurate data. And one of the great features actually is that you can do what I'm talking about by upgrading the synonyms in there. Now, the second resource is byebyehumanienglishtutor.com. When I recorded this tutorial, you could still sign up, but it went to a waiting list. Now, the problem here is that we launched it and we got way too many people using it. It cost way too much to run. So what we're doing now is we're still signing up users. We're going to add a paid plan. Maybe you'll be able to use it for about 15 minutes a day for free. After that, you pay something similar to the essay checker, maybe $8, $12, $15 a month, and you'll be able to do your mock tests, be able to have conversations with it, basically you'll be able to say bye-bye human English tutor. So it's perfect if you're in a remote place, you don't have access to a tutor. It's perfect if you can't afford a tutor. It's perfect if you just, working crazy hours and you don't have time to book a full hour's worth of a class. So that's at byebyehumanienglishtutor.com. You can go and sign up. It's completely free now. You'll be put on a waiting list. We will have a free level once we relaunch, but it definitely get in there now. What we'll be doing is we'll be grandfathering the prices, which means if you get in at $9 a month and we have to increase prices, you will be locked in at $9 a month for as long as the subscription lasts, just to reward, the fast movers, the early adopters, as they say. So that's it. There's the two resources, the Essay Checker and byebyehumannenglishtutor.com. You can get more information about both of those at IELTSPodcast.com. Keep moving forward. Keep practicing. I hate saying keep practicing. It's so generic, but, get a detailed plan in place. Set your goals. Set up a system. You will get there in the end. So that's it from me today. Have a beautiful day. All the best with your IELTS exam, and thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to IELTSPodcast.com.